I was once the weakling in the pack, ignored and ridiculed by everyone. But when I unexpectedly displayed my strength in a life or death struggle, everyone was shocked. Chapter 26. I was on my way back to the mansion before I heard someone calling for help. So I went into the forest to see what was going on, but unfortunately, Lawrence came running towards me before I could find out what was happening. Like I can run away like these without anything or anywhere to go. He chuckled. The feeling is mutual, smart-ass Jack, I say with a scoff. I kept glaring at him while he chooses to ignore me going through packworks. I am going to do something fun because being here with you is very boring, I retorted. You're being disrespectful, he says with a sigh. He walks towards me, pulling me by my hands, then placing me on his lap as he takes a seat. Let go. I tried to wriggle out of his lap. The keyword tried. You better stop doing that before I do something we both would regret, he says huskily. I gulped down, biting my cheek as I felt his erection poking me. He laughed hard, looking at my blushing cheeks. I punch him playfully on his arm to stop him from laughing. Don't blame me for laughing, you look cute when you blush, he says, grinning. We went on laughing and chatting. Well, actually he did the laughing, making fun of me while I kept blushing. I was scared I would explode from the hotness of my face. What got this girl yelling so much? What going on? I asked, confused. Very funny, Anderson, she says, glaring at him. I watch silently before feeling a tap on my shoulder. Come with me, Lawrence says, pulling me up with him. Where are we going to now? I say, whining tiredly. To my room, because you look so pale and tired, he says casually, like it was so obvious. You can't get your hands off her just for a few minutes, Jack says with a wink. Keep your dirty thoughts to yourself, Jack, he says, slapping him upside down while Jack groans from the pain. Kate, come here, Lawrence says with a smile. You look beautiful, he says, holding my hands in his before placing a sweet kiss on my lips. I ask, point at the fire as it increases, getting closer to us. He ignores me, pushing me in the direction of the fire. I screamed as the heat burnt my skin. I walked up, breathing heavily. I looked around the room, not seeing Lawrence anywhere in the room. I run my hand over my face, feeling scared, and before making my way into the bathroom to wet my face before leaving the room in search of Lawrence. I walked to his office, seeing he was not in his office also. Where has he gone to? I asked nobody in particular. I decided to see Maya instead. Walking into her room to find her talking with Elder Matthias. Ma, I am having nightmares again, I say, taking a sit on her bed. I asks, suspiciously, trying to brighten the mood. She glances at me, then back to her hands. She always does this when she's nervous. We decided to go outside to where the bonfire is built. The place is well arranged to perfection and better than the Alpha Jane's bonfire arrangement. I sat on the stones chairs placed around the fire, enjoying the scent of cinnamon and tree coming from the fire. Take this, I glance up to see Lawrence giving me a plate of something like dough filled with chopped beef, cork, and a glass of orange juice. What is this? I ask, pointing at the plate in his hand. Hey, take it easy, he says in amusement. Why don't we play a game, he suggests suddenly. What do you usually love doing, he asks. Reading, I reply casually. Going straight to the point, he laughs, amused. Yes, they are all true, but I do all this for a reason. Katie, what are you doing here? Let have some fun, Becca yelled, coming towards me, putting an end to our little game. I ask, suspiciously, looking at her warily. Come, let go, she laughs, ignoring my question. I gave my empty plate and glass, saying a little thank you to Lawrence before Becca pulled me away. She took me to Lycan. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. And Ethan were laughing with some other pack members. Where were you, Kate? She asks angrily. I was looking for you, and you don't get to talk to me like that, she says, groaning. You're behaving bitchy, she says, glaring at me. I felt a burning sensation on my skin as the full moon rises. I am going inside, I say, gaining their attention. Why? But the full moon just came out. Becca says with a frown. I can't stand under the full moon, it makes me hot. I say casually. I bid them goodbye before going into the mansion. Lawrence POV. I walked towards Lily and Anderson as the full moon came into view. Where is Kate? I asked Lily unwarily, seeing she was angry with someone or something. She inside, saying the moon makes her feel hot or something. She says, focusing her attention on the rising moon. Anderson, let everyone run in groups and keep a watchful eye against any danger. I say, leaving without waiting for reply. I searched for her in her room, but she wasn't there. Lastly, I checked my room, seeing she curled up on my bed. I rushed to her side. Are you in pain? I asked, feeling the hotness of her body. She nods her head, saying nothing. I ran into the bathroom, wetting a piece of cloth in cold water before placing it on her forehead, then giving her a glass of water to drink. She gulps the water before giving the glass back to me. I placed her properly on the bed, covering her with blankets before kissing her forehead as she sleeps. Chapter 27. I am currently in the living room going through pictures of Lawrence, Lillian, and Levi with Elisa. Look at this one, Elisa says, showing me a picture of Lawrence when he was just a pup. After training this morning with Ma, Elisa dragged me into her room, saying, I want to spend some time with my son's mate. Then she brought these boxes filled with pictures. I looked at the picture of Lawrence as a baby. I couldn't help but smile, looking at the cute smile on his face, showing his dimples. Can I keep this? I ask, pleading. Yes, dear, she says, going through the pictures on the shelf. You know, Lawrence was so gentle and shy when he was a little pup. I could only imagine Lawrence running around cheerfully. Really? I ask, looking through Lawrence's pictures. One of the pictures caught my eyes. It is a picture of him when he was a little pup, not more than 4 years old, grinning widely with chocolate frosting on his mouth and clothes. Yes, he was easygoing, a happy little pup, she says with a dreaming look. But you know, some things could change someone easily, she says with regret in her eyes. What are you trying to say? I ask, confused. What does she mean by what she just said? Nothing, dear. Why don't we do this again? She asks with a smile while putting the pictures back into their boxes. Yeah, I had fun looking through these pictures, I say smugly. She stands up before looking down at me. Could you take this back to my room? She asks, handing the boxes to me. Yeah, sure. I took the boxes from her. I walked out of the room. I sauntered towards her room before I was pulled back into a hard chest. I felt sparks fly everywhere, making me tense. What does he want now, oh moon goddess? I twirled around to see him with his signature smirk plastered on his perfect face. He brushed strands of hair behind my ear before leaning closer to my ear. Do you need help with these boxes? He asked softly, his breath fanning my face, making me shiver in delight. No, it's okay. It not even heavy, I say, walking backward to create space between us. He took the boxes from me without any word before walking away, leaving me in my state of shock. I am losing my cool. Anytime he gets too close, it becomes hard for me to even speak correctly. I can't even form a complete sentence. I walked into Elisa's room to find him staring at a picture intensely, like he was studying it with a frown. What's that? I asked, walking towards him. He glances up at me before looking back at the picture. The picture looks old, with a man and a woman holding hands. I tried looking closely, but it wasn't clear since it must be over a year or so. Those people, who are they? I asked, staring at him for answers. He glanced up at me before placing the picture into a box. They are family friends, he says wistfully. I felt they were more than just family friends. Maybe I could ask Elisa later. I tried studying his face, but he was giving a blank expression before I could ask more questions. He left the room, leaving me confused. I trudged slowly behind him, trying to gain his attention, but he kept ignoring me. What an asshole. We walked into his office. While he kept talking on his phone, I kept my glaring face on to piss him off more. You certainly are at the top of the ball curve, I say, smugly glaring at him as he ends his call. Do me a favor, keep quiet while I do my work, he says without sparing me a glance. Don't be such a pencil sharpener, I say harshly. Look here. I had a boring day after Lillian left me with your mother. But I am not complaining, it was fun, and I am not planning on spending the rest of my day here looking at your work, I yell, frustrated. You can't blame me. He is getting on my nerves with him ignoring me and all. What got him so stressed out? Are you done ranting? He asked with a raised eyebrow, staring at me with amusement. Amusement? Does he find this amusing? I just feel like slapping him, so badly you think I'm ranting. Wait until I get into action, I say angrily. Okay. What will you like to do, he asks calmly. What will I like to do? Let's see. I say, placing my index finger on my chin, thinking. Why don't we watch a movie? That sounds good, he says with a nod. After waiting for a few as he arranges a few files, we make our way into the movie room. What would you like to watch? He asks, looking through the movies. A comedy, drama will do, I say, sitting on the couch. Lawrence sat beside me after putting a movie title unknown to me. We sit in silence, not focused on the movie play, before I suddenly blurt out the first thing on my mind. What are we? I ask the question on my mind because I don't know if he accepted me yet, or are we just friends with tagmate? What? He asks, confused. What are we, Lawrence? Am I your mate or just a friend? I ask, staring at him. I wish he accepts me as a mate and not just a friend. You are both to me, my mate, friend, and my other half, he says sincerely. I looked into his eyes. My heart was beating so fast I felt it will come out. He accepted me. Why wouldn't he accept us when we are so cool? Tiara says, jumping happily. You back? I say, grinning widely in my head. Yes, bitch, miss me. Sure did, I replied with a smile. I stared into his eyes. I couldn't help but look at his lips and imagine kissing those pink lips. How it will feel place online. I subconsciously leaned into his touch as he stroked my cheek with one hand, the other brushed a strand of hair from my face. His lips touched mine, sending a wave of electricity in me and sparks flying everywhere. He kissed me gently like my lips were delicate. Nipped and nibbled slowly on my lips, making my eyes close, welcoming the sparks. I moaned into the kiss. He tilted his head to the side, slipping his tongue into my mouth. We fight for dominance, which he won. We slowly pulled away, needing air. I was breathing heavily from the kiss. That was wonderful. He just took my first kiss. I blushed from that thought, focusing my gaze on my hands. I looked up, but he was no longer in the room. I felt disappointed for him leaving like that without a word. I spent the rest of my day in my room thinking about the kiss we shared. It was more than I imagined. His lips felt soft on mine, sending waves of lust in me. I can't just sit here, I murmured to myself. I walked into his office, but he wasn't there. I felt a sharp pain in my chest and Tiara getting restless. What is going wrong, Tiara? I asked, disturbed by her weird behavior. I don't know. I feel something is happening to mate, she says calmly. I made my way into his room without knocking. I was shocked and felt betrayed by what I saw in front of me, knocking away my source of air. Chapter 28. I was shocked. My heart thundered in my chest to see the one who called me his everything, who stole my first kiss, kissing someone else. Britta, my worst enemy. I shouldn't be hurt this way because it was meant to happen all along. It was too good to be true. I was being stupid to try putting my walls down. He looked up, noticing my presence. His face was blank of all emotions, while Britta had a satisfied smirk on her face. I should walk away from this, but my body was stiff, confused, and bewildered. If you don't mind, could you close the door when leaving? Because we are busy here, she snickered. I walked out with my remaining pride. I trudged slowly towards my room, feeling my heart break with every step I take away from my mate. Why did you leave the room just like that? Tiara yells angrily at me. What were you expecting me to do? I ask, laying down on my bed tiredly. You can't just let that whore take what howled. I snorted at her words. He, not ours. He made that clear by kissing her. Before I could understand what was happening, Tiara pulled me into the back of my mind. Tiara, you can't do this. Let me have control, I yelled, trying to get control of my body. Ma, I need your help. Tiara is about to do something stupid. I mind link, getting frustrated by Tiara. I've never had difficulty in getting control back. But right now I am losing my strength. The more I try, the more she gets stronger. Ma came rushing into my room, looking worried. Kate, how you are? She stops, looking at me in shock. Eyes widened, mouth open. I know the reason she like that. It is not good sight seeing my eyes blood red with long fangs. Long claws with a white hairy body. What going on, Kate? She asks, warily, carefully walking towards me, earning growler from Tiara. Tiara is TR, trying to gain control. I say, my voice coming out raspy. What going on? She asks with confusion clear in her eyes. Can you ask this question later? I'm frustrated with what's happening. Okay. I will lock the door while you try to hold her in, she says, leaving the room in light of speed. I heard the click of the door to signal lock. I sigh tiredly, forcing my leg into the bathroom. I need a cold bath, I mumbled. I strip out of my clothes and get into cold water. I woke up in the bathtub feeling the water warm on my skin. I let the water drain before walking out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around myself, stopping in front of a full-length mirror of the closet. Kate, you can't let him get to you, I muttered to myself, looking at myself closely in the mirror. You are a very strong woman. So, hold it in there. Stop giving yourself a pep talk and do something to show him he missed out, Dr. suggest. What do you mean by that? I asked, confused. Let dress up sexy to make him feel jealous, she says proudly. Yeah, let do this. But come to think of it, I never knew you were this smart, I say, taunting her. Say what you want, she scoffs. I check my closet to find something sexy that says I am not a bitch but I can be one. I pick out I am not good in the description. I leave my hair straight falling down my back. I left my room satisfied with my look. I walked into the living room to find Thomas. Elisa? Lillian giving a disgusted look to Britta, who clinging to Lawrence, laughing loudly. I just feel like killing this slut so badly, Diora says with hatred in her voice. I coughed loudly to gain their attention. Lillian, can we go shopping? I ask calmly as possible. Lillian looked at me with wide eyes while Lawrence bore hole into my back, which I choose to ignore. You want to go shopping? She asks in shock. I can't blame her, remembering the first time she asks me out shopping. I told her I don't do such things, but many things changed during the past few months. Yes, just need some clothes, I reply smugly. Okay, let go, she says, standing up from the couch. We walked out of the mansion, going towards her car. How are you doing, Kate? Jason asks, running towards me. His eyes got darker, looking me over. I felt self-conscious with the way he looked at me. Okay, I reply, sounding awkward. You stood me up on our date, he says with a frown. Oh, I forgot about my date with him. Sorry, it slipped my mind. I am so sorry, I reply guiltily. No problem. Do you have anything doing tonight, he asked. No, I guess, I say, unsure. Will you mind going on a date with me tonight? He asked, looking nervous. Yes, I will love to go on a date with you, I know. I sound like a girl who just got asked out on a date by her crush, but my expression is nothing like that. I will pick you up at 8, he grins widely before leaving. Wow, going on a date, Lillian shrill. I forgot she was even standing here. I roll my eyes at her. It's just a friendly date. Nonsense. You have to look good, but we have to tell this to Becca, she says triumphantly. We got into the car going to Becca's place. We reached in 30 minutes since her place isn't far from the mansion. We didn't bother knocking since the door was open. We made our way inside to see Becca watching a TV show, before making ourselves comfortable. Becca, guess what? Lily answers with a smirk plastered on her face while Becca raises her eyebrow in question. Kate has just been asked on a date. Seriously? Lawrence asked you on a date, she blurted out. Lillian gave her a look. No, silly, she was asked by a guy named Jason. But she has a mate, she says, confused. Yes, she has. But her mate is a jerk, she says wistfully. Are they trying to ignore me? I'm right here, girls. Okay. We are going shopping for a sexy dress to spike him, Lillian announces. Let me get dressed, Becca says, going up the stairs. She came back wearing black pants and a red shirt with her hair put into a ponytail. The drive to the mall was the longest drive of my life, with Lillian and Becca chatting about what I should do and shouldn't. Immediately we entered the mall, they dragged me into the spa saying your skin should be sparking, for crying out loud. It was just a friendly date and not my marriage ceremony. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Milban, heartfelt thanks for her unfailing patience, enthusiasm. We entered a boutique and into the dressing section, trying different dresses with them. Give me a look of disapproval anytime I try on a dress. We finally decided on a black dress and black heels. They even got me a new set of makeup. We reached the mansion at 5. My legs are killing me, I grumble, falling on my bed tiredly. I will do your makeup while Becca will fix your hair, Lillian announces. 3 hours of pulling of hair, applying different things on my face that I lost count of. and putting on these killer heels. I stand in front of a few length mirrors. The tips of my hair work old, and put in a messy bun and makeup is smoky eyes and pitch color lipstick. Black dress showing my curves with V-neck paired with black heels. I am looking different and it is a good difference. You look beautiful, Lycan says, grinning widely with pride. We got it, girlty, I yell happily. Are you okay with this date? I ask, feeling uneasy. Yes, but don't do something we both will regret, she says, grinning mischievously. Let go now, don't keep your date waiting, Becca says with a smile. I entered the living room to find Jason waiting patiently. He is wearing a blue suit with blue pants. His hair is swept backward, looking neat. His eyes turn darker with lust. He gives me his hand to help me down the stairs. You look gorgeous, he whispers into my ear. You don't look bad yourself. What going on? He right whirled around to see Lawrence shooting daggers at Jason. Your Highness, Jason says, showing submission. As you can see, we are going on a date. I dragged Jason out of the room, not waiting for his reply. You all right? He asks, looking worried. Yes, I am perfectly fine, I shrug. Come this way, he says, directing me towards a car. Wow, you don't need to impress me, you know that, right? I say, looking at the beautiful black Jaguar X75. I don't know much about cars, but this car was well. Get in, he says, opening the door for me before entering into the driver's seat. The inside is even better. The driver's not awkward, but Jason seems he's not much of a talker. He drove us to an expensive-looking restaurant. Think the moon goddess, I was dressed for this. We were directed to our seat. Would you like anything? A lady in her 20s. Blonde hair put in a bun. Sea blue eyes says with a welcoming smile. I looked up to Jason, giving him a sign to give our orders. He gave the lady our orders. So tell me a little about yourself, he says, sipping a little water from his glass. Nothing much. You know my name, I live with the royals. I say smugly. Come on, nothing else, he says with a smile. Now what about you? A mate, I ask curiously. No, if I had a mate I won't be here with you, that is true, but unfortunately I have a mate, but I am here with him. Soon our orders came. We talked more. I came to know he lives with his parents to siblings. Loves singing, for a fighter like him, weird. I had fun. He took me to his favorite place. It was beautiful and he even sang a song for me. He is a great guy, but I can't seem to stop thinking about Lawrence no matter how hard I try. Wake up, Kate, I felt Jason trying to wake me up. I opened my eyes but shut it back as the sun was bright in the sky. We must have fallen asleep talking. I got up before picking my heels from the ground. What is the time? 8 a.m., he replied. What? I was shocked. I had so much fun with you. Could you please drive me back to the mansion now? He nodded. We walked back to where his car was parked. He opened the door for me like a gentleman before going over to the driver's seat. Can we do this another time? He asks, pulling out of the park. Seriously, I had fun with you, but we can't do this some other time, I replied sincerely. I can't keep his hope up, but I know it will only hurt him. Is it because we are not mated? He asks with hurt and confusion in his eyes. It's not that. You are a great guy and any woman will be lucky to be your mate, but I am not ready for this, I say, looking into his eyes. I understand, he replied, looking back at the road. The rest of the drive was full of tension between us. Okay, thanks once again, I say as he pulls in front of the mansion. Before I could get out of his car, he pulled me back, kissing me forcefully. I push him away. What was that? I ask, out of breath. I am so sorry, he says, pleading. I ignored him before walking into the mansion. Everyone looks. The whore is back. I whirled around to see everyone staring at me with something in their eyes unknown to me. Thomas. Elisa, tu m'as aidé extraordinaire, Mylan Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Lillian, Levi, Elder Matthias, tu m'as aidé extraordinaire, Mylan Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Jack, Lawrence, and Britta. How was your date? I hope you enjoy your first time. Britta continued with a smirk. The last time I remembered, I don't owe you any explanation. And if you forget, the slut here is you, I say harshly. She took slow steps towards me. You have to show me respect, you whore, she yelled, slapping me so hard. I was pushed to the back of my mind as Tiara took control before I could blink. This is not good. Chapter 2090 POV. I took control, pulling Kate back. This slut slapped me. I twirled my head to the side before looking back at her straight in the eyes. I snickered loudly. I let you walk over me. Kate keeps letting you do whatever you like, but you cross all lines, and now it's time for your punishment. You should learn how to talk to your future queen, she says proudly. Why don't we all see who is best here? I ask calmly, even if I felt like ending her worthless life. You set up a fight with Kate, right? But it was postponed until Kate gets better. Since Kate is better, and I am here now, why don't we end what you started? I say mischievously. What do you think, Lawrence? I ask, not actually asking for his permission. I walked towards him in a slow predatorial pace. Tiara, stop this now, Mulder sternly. Why, my end just having some fun, I say with a pout. Kate, I cut him off before he could say anything. Tiara, I correct. What going on here? And who is this, Tiara? Lydian asks suddenly. That should be me. I am Tiara. Kate Wolf, I say, grinning wide. Okay, enough of this chit-chat, I say, taking creditor steps towards my prey, dragging her forcefully outside the mansion. I push her roughly into the field. Let's play a game, I suggest, with a smirk. Since you are a Lycan, and I am a werewolf, you get a head start, and you can use any weapons or even shit. I put my hair into a ponytail. I ripped the back of my dress, making it the same length as the front. Okay, let's start. I had bone, breaking, signaling her shift. A black small size Lycan jump on me. I grip it by the neck, throwing it backward. She tried attacking with her claws, but I was able to block her attack. She tried again. This time I hold her by the hand, breaking the bones. She screamed in pain. She kept attacking, which I blocked with ease, breaking more bones as we gained more audience. Everyone watching in both amusement and fear. You broke the wrong parts of me. You broke my wings, and forget I had claws, I say coldly, flashing my fangs and claws while throwing her across the flood, making her whine. Tiara, listen to me. You have to stop this mush-ups trying to get my attention. I ignored her, walking towards Britta, who is bleeding badly and pain. Don't worry about breaking me or making me sad, because you can't. Breaking, not making me sad, because you can't. Breaking and sadden someone who is already sad. I pick her up, swirling her hand backward, then the other, grip her neck tightly with my claws, digging into her flesh. Shift now, I growled loudly, making everyone kneel with their heads down in submission from the power of my voice. Expect Lawrence, of course. She shifts back. Breathe your last, I say with a smirk. Tiara, you can't let your pain make you do this. Let her go, please. Ma bleeds once again before I could snap her neck. I lock my eyes with Ma as she pleads for me to let Britta go. What am I doing? Guilt warmed my heart, almost knocking me off my feet. Guilt and pain pushed through my heart, making me whimper in pain. I am so sorry, I say, giving Kate control back. Kate POV. Tiara gave me control back, sorry, she says sadly, blocking me out. I looked up to see my claws digging into Britta's neck. Feeling disgusted, I let her go. I look around to see some scared, while others shocked, and some both emotions of their countenances. Someone take her to the pack doctor, I say, to nobody in particular, but the guys came carrying her away. And all of a sudden I felt really tired, like the world has drained me of everything but I had. Kate, are you okay? Ma squashing towards me. I ignored her, walking towards the mansion, feeling my demons clawing at my heart, hungry, tasting for any murderous emotion. Lawrence POV. I was really surprised to see Kate, only what I know I could do. She walked into the mansion looking embarrassed and weak, her eyes filled with regret and an emotion unknown to me. Lawrence, I need to speak with you, Alex says warily. I watch Kate. I worry as she walks out of my view before focusing my attention on Alex. Okay, I led her into my office after dismissing everyone and reassuring everything was okay. What do you want to speak to me about? I ask with a raised eyebrow. She remained silent for a few minutes before speaking. Kate is a Lycan, she blurted out. What? But you said she hasn't shifted yet. I ask, confused. She sifted at 13 years and kept it a secret for fear of discrimination. But she doesn't know she a Lycan yet. She says, looking everywhere but me. Why keep it from her and also lie to me, everyone? I ask because I find no reason in hiding it from her. I was just 13 when I shifted also. If for her good, and I kept it from you because it's her story to tell, not mine. She explains she needs your help. This woman is so confusing. What I really need now is to see and speak with Kate about everything happening with her, me, and this bond. I don't know what made me do such things. It hurts me to see her in pain, but I can't seem to know how to stop it. She got such a good heart. She really does. It's just been broken, or what she says, sadness consuming her features. She very broken that she can feel it. I mean physically feel it. She not sad anymore. She is numb, she says sternly. I watch her silent as she speaks. She keeps everything locked down, making her drown in them. She is losing herself in the pain she feels and does not see this joy anymore. She was meant to save and not to be saved. The only one that could bring her back is you. Her another half, she says, pleading. How can I do that? I say, frustrated. I am so confused. I don't understand what's going on. You just have to listen to her. By getting her to tell you her past. By getting her to lead you to her demons. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm, and nightmares. If you can't do this, we are all doomed, she says sadly before leaving me to my thoughts. We can't let this happen, Travis says, worried, pacing in the back of my head. This all my fault. Kissing Britta just because I needed to clear my mind. I say, frustrated with myself. After Travis took control and kissed Kate, I was angry and needed to get my mind from thinking about the kiss. And Britta, good distraction, even though I felt digested kissing her. When I saw that asshole all over her, it made me angry. I had to control myself from ending his life there and then. And he had the nerves to kiss her. I will make that excuse of a werewolf pay for touching what mine. I need to fix my mistakes. I can't afford to lose Kate, not now, not ever, because she mine. To Peter, 30 Kate POV. I fold my legs close to my chest with my hands resting on my knees as the water cascade on me, washing the blood and dirt away. I love the rain, ocean, the rivers, because unlike the people who should have loved me better, the water was never afraid to touch me. Even when I was at my most damaged and broken. I reach out to Tiara, but she keeps blocking me out. Blocking her pain and disappointment from me. We have mastered the art of blocking emotions than feeling them, because it is easier to act it never there than feeling it there. I stand up from the tub as water drips on the tile as I make my way into the walk-in closet. I put on a black tee, shirt and black jeans before walking back into the room to find Lillian and Becca coming in. Kate, can we talk to you? Lillian asks as she and Becca walk in. No, I don't need your sympathy, so you can leave now. I say coldly, turning my back towards them. I know the way I spoke was rude, but I just need privacy and not sympathy or empathy from anyone. I hear the door close as they left before walking lazily towards my bed, laying on it with a loud sigh. I want to scream. I want to burst into tears. I want to get drunk and kill myself. But all I can do is stare at the wall in silence. Sometimes, all you can do is lie in bed and hope to fall asleep before you fell apart. But yet that heavy feeling in my chest when I don't feel any desire to speak or move hurts me. All I want to do is close my eyes and sleep, because the process of being broken is incredibly exhausting. I attempt my best to make my days fulfilling, but no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to connect to anyone or anything. That's the worst part. The bad days. The days when I can't hide it behind a smile and I feel like running away from it all. The days when I ask for help and I feel like a burden. Those are the days I'm running on empty. I guess I'm just tired. Tired of holding it all in here while it keeps killing me. Tired not caring what I care so much about what they say to my face. Tired of being bitched about by those who know nothing or what I go through and what I feel. Tired of being ignored when all I need is someone to tell me it will all go away. Tired of feeling unloved by those who meant to love me. Tired of pretending to be happy. That everything is okay when everything is falling apart and I am falling with no one to hold me. When all I want to do is cry. It is like I am ungrateful to Ma for her care. But it's only little she can do. I still feel empty. Something is missing and pulling me into despair. I am not yet complete. The door opened to reveal Lawrence. I got up from the bed, immediately walked towards him. Get out now, I yell, frustrated, because he has a right to act like he is when he doesn't. Or maybe he is here to punish me for beating up his pack member. So let's ignore each other. Try to pretend the other person doesn't exist. But deep down, we know it wasn't supposed to end like this. He says, walking towards me, stopping in front of me while staring into my soul. I break eye contact with him, looking everywhere, but him. How is it supposed to end? Tell me, because I don't know. Or is it supposed to end after you break me, leaving me with nothing? Not even the broken pieces, I say, tired of this while fighting the tears in. You know nothing about betrayal or pain, so do not tell me about you feeling heartbroken, he yelled angrily, his eyes flashing red. I gained courage, looking at his anger evident in my eyes as my claws came out. What would I know about pain and being stabbed in the back by the ones you loved and wish you can be loved back? I take a deep breath, claiming my... Let me tell you what I know. I know that I have lost 1,000 battles to nightly demons, experienced 100 heartbreaks, and faced constant disappointment. I have fallen more times than I care to remember and had to build walls to avoid people stepping on me. I was left to fend for myself. I learned that all of life is just to learn how to act strong. Like a phoenix, I have raised from ashes. Pain has made me the person I am today, and you know nothing about me, I yelled, frustrated. His eyes soft and looking at me in shock. And understanding you are different, he says softly. I'm sorry if I seem different to you, if it feels like I'm not the same person anymore, but the truth is I'm not living with pain changes you. I say, closing my eyes, taking a deep breath to block my emotions from showing. It's not the future that scares you, but repeating the past that makes you anxious, he says, stroking my cheek lovingly. I push his hand away. It hurts that I can't be what everyone wants or what you want or need. And it hurts that I can't be what I want, what I need, because I'm not enough. I won't ever be enough, and I will never even be close to enough. And it hurts. It hurts so damn bad, I say, tears glistening in my eyes, falling freely. I raised my hands to wipe them off before I could. He held my hand, stopping me. Cry as hard as you can and want to. But make sure when you stop crying, you never cry for the same reason, he says softly with understanding. I hug him tightly, crying, all the tears bottled up. I cried for this time, breaking my promise of never crying. I let him see my most vulnerable state. I'm tired of fighting. I want to fight for. I say, still hugging him. You need to rest now. I will be the one to fight your demons. To set you free. Break down the wall you built. Kick and fix your broken heart. And to complete you, he says with so much sincerity, making a promise to me. I release him from the hug. My mind refuses to believe even when my heart wants me to believe his words. I wipe away my tears. I'll be okay. Just not today, so please leave me alone. Your heart will fix itself. It's your mind you need to worry about. Your mind where you locked the memories. Your mind where you've kept pieces of the ones that hurt you, that still cut through you like shards of glass. Your mind will keep you up at night, make you cry, destroy you over and over again. You need to convince your mind that it has to let go. Because your heart already knows how to heal, he says, kissing me on my forehead before leaving. I stand shocked. He read me like a book, like he knows my thought and fears. As he saw through my thickest walls, I crushed to the floor, picking little emotions in me, picking what is worth. Chapter 31. I sigh loudly. I have been in my room since this morning. I am feeling very hungry. My pride won't let me leave this room. I just don't know what they will all think of me now. Are they going to be scared or worse, throw me out? Take a deep breath, Tiara suggests, rolling her eyes. I took a deep breath, claiming my nerves. Wait, where have you been? Just resting. My pause. You know, after that incident, I just needed to rest, she says smugly. Before replying, someone walks in. What do you want? I ask with a fixed glare on Lawrence. It seems you are too embarrassed to leave your room, he says, walking towards me with toast bread and a glass of milk. So I took it upon myself to bring you breakfast, he grinned triumphantly, putting the food on the nightstand. I am not hungry, so take it away, but my stomach had other plans by grumbling loudly. He just chuckles, pulling me to sit on the bed before giving the plate to me. Will you eat or just keep glaring at the food? He asked with raised eyebrows. I told you I am not hungry, I say smugly. You look pale and slim. Do you know I don't like skinny girls, he says, smirking. Britta is skinny, but you dated her, and I don't care about what you like, I say nonchalantly. Just eat your food or I will make you eat it, he says warningly. And I very well know he will do as he says. And also I am too hungry to give any sassy comment. I eat the food in silence, with him making sure I eat every single bite. I gave him back the plate and glass. He left my room but came back 1 minute later. Get dressed, I am taking you out. You don't give me orders. I am going nowhere with you, I say, walking into the bathroom. I did my daily routine. Knowing he is still in the room, I get ready in the bathroom. I brush through the tangles of my hair, putting my hair into a ponytail before wearing my dunnies and cello, high-waisted boyfriend jeans and oversized boyfriend shirt. I walked out to find him lying on my bed comfortably. Leave now, I need to sleep. You look cute, so are you ready? Let go, he says with arched eyebrows. I scowl at him. You don't seem to get that I am going nowhere with you, I say, sighing. I walked towards the bed, trying to pull him off the bed, but he just raised his hand, pulling my hair out of the ponytail, making my hair fall free on my shoulders. What was that for? I don't like you packing your hair that way, he says like a little pup deprived of his favorite sweet. This not the first time you have seen my hair in a ponytail, I say, confused. What up with this guy? Then we were not together and now we are, he says in a dull tone. Who said we are together? I ask stupidly when the answer is obvious. You're just behaving stubborn. Let go now, he says, standing up from the bed. Okay, let go, and to where exactly? We left the room towards his car, and to my luck no one saw me leave the house. Where are you taking? I ask, getting frustrated with him ignoring my questions. I hope this is not another way of you getting back at me. Get down. What going on in this head of his? What? We are here, get down, he says, leaving the car. What a jerk. He came towards me and intertwined our hands together, pulling me towards a gate. He typed some code. Immediately the gate opened. My mouth fell on the floor. The view was wow. A waterfall surrounded by trees and grasses with birds on each tress. This sight is amazing. Wow, this is wonderful. Oh moon goddess, I can't believe you ever find this place. Come sit here. He pulled me down on a pile of leaves. I always come here to cool myself. Take a run or think, he said, looking ahead. What is the reason for bringing me here? I ask, still in amazement of this place. I always like being surrounded by trees. It gives me the sense of living. I don't know. Maybe to show you something I love doing, he says with a blank face. Okay, we fall into peaceful silence with only the sounds of birds and leaves blowing through the wind. I once had a dream in life, I say, breaking the silence between us. He glanced up at me before throwing stones in the air. My dream was to be like my mum. Ma once told me how she took care of the pack, fighting for the weak and those in need. She was a good ruler that everyone we remember, I say, staring at nothing in particular. What made you give up on that dream? He asked. My mum was never a murderer. She never killed anyone, but yet I killed her, I say, wiping a lonely tear away. No matter how I dream, I can never be like her. She had a pure heart while my heart is dark as my dreams. So what was the use keeping dreams? You need to let go of your pain to feel what happiness is. He took my hands, holding it tightly, looking me in the eyes. Holding it down here can be suffocating, he says, pointing towards my chest. I felt hope with his words. Can I be saved from my demons? I was surprised when he picked me up, carrying me over his shoulder, put me down. What are you doing? Before I could continue, he put me into the cold water. You will so pay for this, I yell, pulling him into the water with me. I laugh, trying to run away from him. I will get you, he says, running after me in the water. He grips me by the waist before twirling me in the air. I laugh loudly. I never had this much fun. I can't remember the last time I laughed genuinely. This man keeps making me break my promises, first making me cry, now making me laugh. He puts me down, standing on my feet. Can you do something for me? He asks, staring into my eyes intensely. What? I ask, meeting his gaze cautiously. Just keep laughing and smiling this way, even if it's only from my eyes, because seeing you smile like this makes my day, he says, grinning happily. I can't keep that promise, I say sincerely. I will always be the reason you laugh. He keeps making promises he will never fulfill, because I know how it always ends. I can see it in your eyes, he says. See what? You don't believe me, but I never break my promises. Chapter 42. We drove back to the house in comfortable silence. Lawrence keeps glancing my way from time to time. Immediately I opened the door, I was pulled into a tight hug by Lycan and Becca. They release me from the hug. Really, they ain't mad at me? You girls are not mad, I ask, voicing out my thoughts. No, how can we be mad when you helped in getting rid of her? Lycan says, grinning happily. What do you mean, getting rid of her? I ask, walking towards the kitchen to dish myself something to fill my empty stomach. Don't blame me I can't get over food. Brittle effed this morning because you bruised her ego badly. Becca says, taking a sit on the stool while Lillian follows her action. I should be happy, right? She finally left me in peace, but I am feeling kinda bad. Now I am so happy. I did a little happy dance in my head. I dished myself some scrambled eggs and rice, taking a sit opposite Lillian. So where did Lawrence take you to? Lillian says, wriggling her eyelashes seductively. Nowhere in particular. Just somewhere he loves. It's not a complete lie. I didn't get to ask him the name of the place. You guys are a thing now? Becca asked. She took a spoonful of my food. I scowled at her as she tried to take another spoonful. Of course they are. It's obvious. They mate even though she tries to ignore the fact that they are meant to be together. Lillian says, sounding frustrated with me and Lawrence's love life. We're just trying to get along since we can run away from the maple. I say, putting more emphasis on the word maple. Whatever makes you sleep at night. They both say smugly. Are you girls trying to taunt me? I say, playfully glaring at them. They both laugh as a reply. Is everything okay between you, Anderson? Becca asks, suddenly making Lillian tense up. Yes, kind of. He's just being stubborn, she says with a frown, looking everywhere but us. What happened between you and Anderson? I ask, not knowing what's going on since I was too locked up in my little world. He is angry because I went out with Edward, she says, looking sad and about to cry. Who, Edward? I ask, looking lost. He's a guy I met in a club when I and Becca went clubbing last week. She says, fiddling with her nails. I went out with him yesterday, and we shared a friendly hug. So he smelt him on you, and now he thinks she cheated on him. I say, understanding where she is going with her story. Just do something to gain his trust back. Like getting this guy to tell Anderson the truth on what happened, I suggested. Why don't you try? It will surely work. Becca says, in agreement with my words. You have his number, right? I asked, taking my empty plate to the dishwasher. Yeah. I will call him right away and solve this once and for all because I miss him. Lillian says, rushing out of the room. I gave her a thumbs up. After she left me and Becca stayed in comfortable silence before deciding to watch a movie with her, choosing a comedy and me a horror movie. We argued for a few minutes before deciding on a romantic movie instead. It was the most boring movie of my life. I was holding my anger in because I felt like putting off the TV, but Becca seems to be enjoying it since she kept laughing and behaving like a sick puppy. Okay, enough of this, I said, putting off the TV. What was that for? She asks with raised eyebrows. Before I could reply, Levi entered, grinning widely, sitting on the couch with Becca. What got you in a good mood? She asks, giving him a look. Nothing, he says, laughing lightly. Now I am curious. Come on, tells as she urges. I took a sit on the armchair, staring at him in amusement. It for me to know and for you to find out, he says, murking. He just asks his crush out on a date. Anderson says, walking towards us with his hands wrapped protectively on Lillian's waist. I guess they are over their argument. Becca smiles at Lily. And shut up, Anderson, Levi retorted. What is it then? I ask, feeling uneasy, like this surprise is not something I would like. As I said, it for me to know and for you to find out. He says, leaving the room. I felt disturbed. Something is about to happen. Something that is disturbing. I pushed that feeling back. It must be something not even worth this headache. So you finally figured out she was telling the truth after all, I ask in amusement. I can never get mad at her for a long time. He says, placing a kiss on her forehead with so much adoration. Where are Lawrence and Jack, by the way? I haven't seen Lawrence since we got home. Lawrence doing some pack work with Elder Matthias and Thomas while Jack is training the warriors. He says nonchalantly. I nod my head as a reply. I wonder where Ma went. She is pretty busy these days. Okay, I should be leaving now. Becca is getting up from the couch. Let go then. I will see you off, Lillian says, tagging me along. We walk in silence for a few minutes, feeling the wind blow around us. When will you be leaving to see Ethan's parents? I ask, curiously, breaking the silence between us. Maybe next week. We were supposed to go this week, but since he is busy, we postponed it. You know, I am nervous, she says truthfully. You're going to see someone you know nothing about, I say before Lillian cut me off. Is that supposed to help her? Lydia asks, not impressed. You didn't let me finish. I was trying to say it normal for her to be nervous because immediately they set their eyes on her it will be love at first sight. I say smugly. Lydian gave me a look of are you serious right now? What she is saying is just be yourself and then they will come to love you. Thanks. You girls are the best. She says laughing loudly. Okay. We should be going back now. Lydian says waving Becca goodbye. We walk to the mansion to hear laughter and shouting coming from inside. What is the occasion? What going on? Lydian laughing happily and more having a look of panic in her eyes, while Lawrence has an irritated look. She is here, Levi says running towards the door yelling happily. A girl with grey eyes and black hair falling free on her shoulders with a sky blue dress reaching just above her knees. She smiled widely looking like a runway model. She looked towards my direction grinning widely before walking towards me. Hey best IE, what are you doing here? She says hugging me tightly. I know this girl. She is the same girl from my past. Past I chose to forget all about. Now my nightmares are no longer only at night, but also when I am wide awake. Chapter 33. I can't believe she is back. I became numb from what's going on. What is she doing here of all places? She was the person who made me give up on ever having friends. I push her away like she had an acid burning into my skin. Her eyes became cloudy with hurt. But it was gone within a second. She grinned widely doing her best. She asks once again. What is she trying to do pretending we are best of friends? The last time I remembered we are not friends, so how can you be my best? I say smacking. Since she wants to play this game then let it begin. She will never affect me the way she always did. This Kate is different. Come on Kate. That all in the past now, she says warily. What nerve? Whacking this girl is Grace. You seem to forget what I did to you and your family too easily. I say smugly with a smirk playing on my lips, but let me give you a piece of advice. Don't try anything stupid with me because I will make sure your entire generation is killed. And trust me, you won't want to see me angry. I say meaning every word. She flinches from my words. I am not very proud of what I did or anything I did in the past. But if it means putting her in her place, I will do it without regrets. She thinks we are on good terms, but we are far from that. It seems you guys know each other. But I will still give an introduction. Levi says, breaking our intense argument with a suspicious look my way. I forgot anyone was in this room. I hope they didn't hear the killing side of this argument. Kate, this is Grace. He says, pointing towards Grace before pointing towards me. And Grace, this Kate. Ma came towards me giving me a look that I should come with her. I trail after her towards her room, but not after giving Grace a death stare. I took a seat at the edge of the bed with her. What is she doing here? I ask, confused and irritated. I don't know, but you have to be careful of her, she says warily. I nod before leaving since she needed to take a rest. I left her room towards Lawrence's office. I need answers to these questions bubbling inside my head. I knocked before hearing a deep voice come in. I walked in taking a sit in front of his desk, but he refuses to acknowledge my presence. I need some answers. He glances up giving me a questioning look before going back to his laptop. On what? He asks after a few minutes of silence. What is Grace doing here? I ask, hitting my nails on the hardboard of his desk. You guys know each other? From where exactly? He asked with raised eyebrows, starting at me intensely. I ask you a question first. I say, glaring at him. Okay, no need to be defensive. He says, laughing lightly. She came here 2 years ago saying she was thrown out of her pack by her best friend who was jealous of her. We took her in, but she decided to move on with her life, traveling now, and then he explains. To our agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. A jealous best friend. What a stinking liar she is. She is a nice girl, but we don't get along. I just dislike her for no reason. He says nonchalantly. Now answer my question, he demands. It's a long story. I say, looking everywhere but him. I have all day, he urges. She part of my past. That how much I can tell you. I say, looking at my laps like it was the most beautiful part of me. He stands up from his chair coming towards me. He swirled my chair around facing him before cupping my face, looking into my eyes intensely. He was so close that if I move a little we will end up kissing. You can tell me anything, I will be here to listen. You can cry, I will be here to wrap your tears away. He brushed strands of hair from my face before placing a kiss on my forehead. But I won't force you to tell me anything. When you're ready you can always tell me. Thanks. I should be going to my room now, it's getting late already. I left his office towards my room, my thoughts and memories flashing in my mind. Before I could open the door to my room, a voice taps me. Kate. Can I talk to you? Grace asks, wearily standing in front of me, glimmer of tears in her eyes. Yeah. But be fast about it, I said as coldly as possible. I know you will never forgive me for what I did, but please give me a chance to prove I am truly sorry, she says, pleading. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble, thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I heard the wonderful story you made up, I say with hatred and amusement towards this backstabbing bitch in front of me, your jealous best friend, who threw you out of your pack. I have bitterly. Because the last time I remember you were the jealous best friend who loves money than her sister. I snap at her, feeling anger rising in me. I had no choice but to lie. I was desperate for a place to stay, she says, raising her voice. So the best thing for you to do is play the victim. I say, not believing the nerves of this girl. How can she stoop so low? But what can you expect from someone like her? When I left the pack, things became hard after my parents disowned me. I became rogue, fighting for my life, she says with tears flowing from her eyes. I wanted to come back and ask for your forgiveness, but I know you will never forgive me. But when I saw you standing, I hope to build up in me. Maybe the moon goddess is giving me one more chance to correct my mistakes. Just maybe I can get my sister back, she says, sobbing so hard. I felt like holding her and telling her I forgive her, that I know how it felt trying to correct your mistakes, but it is just too late now for that. It's too late now. That Kate you once know is gone and buried, I say before shaking my head sadly. You killed that Kate the minute you betrayed her, so forget you were ever sisters because she never coming back, I say, giving her one last look before entering my room, closing her out of my life and closing those memories that surfaced the moment I set my eyes on her today. In the deepest part of my mind, the tears I managed to hold back fell freely from my eyes. I rest my back on the door, covering my mouth from making any sound. I cried in silence, crying for my loss. It was just like the first day I found out of Betrayal. She was just like the rest, always laughing and smiling, but you will never know they are your enemies.